Hello all, Nice Tail here, and let me tell you a story of this Kunwu knife. It's not actually in there, it's right here. It's the Kunwu Padre, which, TLDR, is fantastic. Most Kunwus are. They do a really good job. They could do their lock bars, or not the lock bars, their crossbars, a little bit more heavy and snappy with their springs. But beyond that, they do a really good job, and this is no exception. The Padre is a very interesting knife, a very unique looking knife. I have to get the blade out. It's a crazy looking thing, but it works. Let us get specs out of the way, and let us bring this back in the corner, because I like the pouch. These come with most, if not all, Kunwu knives. I like that. Little wood tassels there, or balls on the tassels. Blade length of the Padre, 3 3/8 of an inch. Handle length, 8 1/8. 4 7/8 on the handle. The overall was 8 1/8. The ratios are not fantastic here, and they don't look fantastic. I mean, you see this stubby sort of blade here. They're not as bad as they look, because just the way everything is shaped and the curvature makes it look like you're actually getting less blade than you are. But yeah, there's definitely a considerable bit more handle than there is blade here. That said, it all is all in service of this sort of grip and the position and the control. So I'm not gonna knock it. It's still really cool looking. It's still really functional. And that's what we want, isn't it? Everyone knows. This was from the original drop of these things. There have been some that have come and gone. I wanted to get one that was reverse tuxed with their DLC, but just never got around to it. Maybe I know they've done these things in a ton of variants now. There's a crossbar lock one. There's the Cum Padre that goes with the Padre. It's smaller, so if that's your jam, it's there. Overall, the knife is actually sizable. This is the Elementum for small, Conspirator for medium, or full size, not medium, full size knife. It's actually bigger than the Conspirator, but the blade length is a little shorter. It's all handle, all this arcing banana handle that has to be there to actually house all of that blade, because it does come pretty darn close to the end. Let's get that out of the way and talk about the hardware. Yeah, okay, good. T8. T8 pivot. T8 pocket clip. T8 body screws. The only thing that's T6 is the lock bar insert, which, fine. You're probably never going to have to interact with that. Taking this thing apart is not hard. It's this, and I believe this, and the pivot. And they're T8s. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Wait. I just got myself with the knife. Oh, God. Okay. Did I draw blood? Oh, yeah. I got myself right there. Little, lightly. Certainly not like some other people. But it does happen. 5.2 ounces. Not super heavy, but certainly not an ounce an inch. There is milling in here, but it still feels like a substantial knife. Not in a bad way, though. A good way. And the final specs, yes, year 5, we know. 541 thousandths of an inch, so just over half an inch. Blade stock, 141. I'm going to assume they were going for 140 thousandths there, but sure. Behind the edge. This is not hollow ground, but there is a ton of room to drop down because it is a tall blade. And behind the edge on this knife is 13, 14 thousandths behind the edge. Pretty good. Not super thin. I mean thick. It comes down to a very nice cutting edge. And one thing I want to say about this knife is I dig it myself. That can happen right there. But back to the edge. It feels slick. And it's always felt slick, but it is unassumingly bitey. Like, it starts biting before you realize it. Which is good. It performs. It's good. It's a great knife. It's not just good, it's a great knife. It is. So, what are we looking at? We're looking at Van X Super Clean, super corrosion resistant. Or dang near corrosion proof completely. Blade with a cutout and a front flipper, which kind of looks a little weird, but works wonderfully. It is a little bit... Oh, no, you can sort of do that. This one's the... Okay, I'm proving myself wrong. It works freaking... Blah, 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 blah. Did I almost just curse there? No, I didn't. But it sounded like I was going to. I wasn't. It works fine. That's what I'm trying to say. Stubby, snub-nosed, clip point, all belly blade with a ton of choke-up choil. Yeah, that's what you got here. You do have the name of the knife on the blade. I don't love that. But beyond that, there's no other major branding on the blade. I guess this is kind of Kunwu's sort of thing. Their little... It's not really their logo, but it's there. That's what they do with their pivots a lot of times. I guess that's their technical logo, just a K. I don't want the Padre there, but beyond that, it's fine. This is a satin finish blade. It's a little fingerprinty, but other than that, it's good. One thing I will say is Van X usually costs a lot, but if you know Kunwu, then you know that they do good heat treats, usually up in higher than their oftentimes industry standard for things on their steels, and they typically are priced really, really well for what you're getting compared to other options in the same sort of realm. This is absolutely no exception whatsoever. It's on bearings. The stop pin is it mounted to the blade, or is it just... Yes, it's mounted to the blade. It's right up in there. You can kind of see it. You can catch glimpses of it. It's deep in there, though. There it is. It's mounted to the blade. It's not just mounted... The blade's not just running around it. It's actually on the blade, which is nice. You've got diamond textured titanium, which is always nice to see, and Kunwu does a fantastic job with their diamond texturing. It's a little bit sharp, but it's not like sharp. It just feels good. Yes, definitely. This thing is a frame lock with a good detent on it. Great for the reverse flick, and you've got more than an ample room with this hole. The ergos look kind of crazy. It's banana-ish, but man, do they work in the hand. You can feel the clip, but it disappears pretty well. Not completely, but it's super comfortable in this choke back position. And it is equally comfortable. Yeah, I don't think it's more comfortable. I think it's just equally comfortable in this choked up position. You got a ton of control. You're right up on the blade, but you got a lot of room. The choke up and the choil are huge. The plunge grind ends here, which is like this is how you do a plunge grind. Wonderful. All of it. Just all of it can be sharpened. You could get this thing back up, down, up to here, basically. It would look different, a whole lot different, but you can do it. Geared backspacer with the lanyard loop. That's the only thing I don't love. I don't necessarily need to see this big lanyard thing on the end of this knife. Yeah, I think it would look better without it, personally, but it's not that far out of position. You'd basically just be dropping it down to there. So it's not too bad. Pocket clip. I will say the pocket clip feels a little out of place on this one. It doesn't quite fit the rest of the knife, and unfortunately it is over the diamond texturing, and it is relatively snug, though it does have flex. It works, but if you got really tight or thick jeans or something like that, yeah, this over time will definitely eat up your pants. It is something you have to understand that you're basically trading. I believe there were non-textured versions of these that wouldn't have that issue. They were like orange peel or something. No problem there. If that's what your preference is, I think they were available. I don't know if they still are. In fact, hold on just 1 second. Okay, on Kunwu's site, I'm back by the way, these are no longer available. They're out. They have come back a couple times, so they might come back again. Hopefully they're doing well with this knife, because I really do like this particular model. Though Kunwu is always doing something new and different, and they've gotten a couple similar kind of style things since then, the Gringo and such, that have their own flair, but are great in their own way. I'd like to get more Kunwu's check out, honestly. I really like what they're doing. In fact, I really love their knives. I only had their Pulsar and this, and the knife they OEM'd, which was the One Track Mine knife, which, again, Knife of the Year contender right here. Just fantastic. Love this thing. It's just great. But I need to get more Kunwu to check out, because they're just fun. They're great knives that are done well and priced extremely well. But while there was, I'm pretty positive, a flat one of these, none of them are available on their Kunwu site. They might be available in one or two other places. White Mountain Knives sometimes has some. So I'll check and link what I can. Beyond that, you have a Timascus. Is that Timascus? Yes, that's a Timascus collar. I almost said Zircuti, because you can't see it, but there is actually some more color in there, and it's not Zircuti. It's definitely Timascus. On both sides, which is just a nice pop. Doesn't it? It adds a nice pop. It's cool. That is the one problem with this knife. My word. This thing wants to come for your finger. If you don't get it where you catch this little bend, which you can, it comes for your finger. It really does. Going down, I mean, it might be better just to do that on this knife. It's something you have to get used to. What the? Okay, I don't know what just... I have no idea what just happened there. Smooth. It's centered. There's no play. Quality. Quality all day. Kunwu does great work. Lock bar insert. Ergos are strange but great. And the price. These things were like $300. Which... textured titanium... a pop of Timascus, Vanex super clean steel. Yeah. Take my money all day, basically. Even with the thing wanting to cut my finger off. And me progressively getting more bloody on the video. The execution, the quality, the consideration for all of the elements of this knife, and the price point. I mean, you're not getting Vanex at $300 from pretty much anyone else. Quiet Carry, I guess, can come close, but their knives are super minimalist and plain. I mean, it's just flat titanium. They're great knives, don't misunderstand me, but, and I'd love them, I have a waypoint, but, yeah, you're not getting something to this level with these materials at this price point. And that's sort of the same thing with the Pulsar. I mean, when the Pulsar came out, it was like $200 or something like that. It's what Kunwu does. In fact, I think the LMAX version of this knife, not in the VanX, is like 270, 279, and that's with a crossbar lock and stuff. Might even be 265. I'm not sure. I don't have that version. So, yeah, they're offering great bang for your buck at Kunwu. They're offering great finish for your buck and great heat treat. Your steel is going to perform probably better than most other steels out of most other companies. Because it's heat treated properly. They do their crazy Chad PMs 60, whatever, that up at like freaking 68 HRC, 67 HRC, or 70, I don't even remember. It's crazy, but that's what Kunwu does. Crazy awesome things. I love this knife, even if it does like to bite me. And yeah, that's it. Closing the book on the Padre, but hopefully more chapters to come. Yes, the book puns are coming in real hard. I just came up with I just thought of a bunch recently where I'm a nice tale. My logo's a book. They're coming and they're coming hard. Don't worry about that. But yeah, this is a great knife. Anything Kunwu is recommendable. That's all from me. Drop a like, drop a subscription, drop a comment, drop anything that you would like, because I'm a small channel and would greatly appreciate any support. Just don't drop the channel. Yeah. Okay. See you in the next one, guys. That's all from me.